Oh, hello, it is I, your boy Gomi, and we're going to quickly go over some of the insane news that have been announced. Of course, because Ariel Helwani went reporting about what was going to happen at UFC 297, Dana White had to come out himself and decide to say, nope, that's not accurate. And he announced the next headliners for the next three pay-per-views, or first three pay-per-views of 2024, and they're big, absolutely huge. First, we're going to be having the boy himself. Dricus du Plessis is getting his much-deserved title shot against the champion Sean Strickland. I am so happy this is the fight to make, because make no mistake, I like Khamzat Chimaev, and I think I would like Khamzat Chimaev to fight for the title, but to be perfectly honest with you, his performance against Usman does not scream deserving of a title shot. Dricus du Plessis finishing Robert Whittaker in the second round, as I called, that deserves a title shot, and that's going to be an exciting fight, mainly due to Dricus du Plessis. I know there's a lot of people who suddenly became Sean Strickland fans. I don't know where y'all came from, but I've been watching Sean Strickland his whole career. I could say I don't care for this man as a champion. Y'all want Israel Adesanya out because he said he's boring and he's a point fight decision fighter. Well, look at Sean Strickland's fights. He has a finish over Abu Smagomedov. I can't remember another finish beyond that other than maybe Brendan Allen. But Dricus du Plessis, on the other hand, is a finishing monster. That is going to be such a good fight. Predictions, bias aside, I think Dricus du Plessis is going to win this fight. A lot of people are going to credit Sean Strickland for his jab 1-2. That's his main weapon. That's all he really even used against Israel Adesanya. That's not going to cut it. Dricus du Plessis is a much better grappler. He is a much more explosive striker. He has way more power. The main thing I really see with Dricus du Plessis is he's a beautiful switch stance fighter. Not beautiful as in like handsome. I guess he's handsome. I don't know. I don't comment on guys' looks. But he has a beautiful switch stance style. And he's very, very effective. I said this in my breakdown against his fight against Darren Till. He's just so good at swapping stances. And he does the mid combo. That's something I can absolutely see him exploiting Sean Strickland against. And Sean Strickland is very susceptible to hooks. I'm sorry. His defense is... it's very good, as he was able to nullify Israel Adesanya, but Israel Adesanya has a counter-striking style. Dricus has a finish-or-die style. He will either finish you or he will die trying. And I think that's just going to melt Sean Strickland, to be honest with you. So give me Dricus du Plessis. Next, UFC 298 in February will be headlined by Alexander Volkanovski against Ilia Topuria. I'm glad they didn't do this January, because if they did this January like they're originally going to do, oh man, Alexander Volkanovski would die. Simple as that. He took too much damage against Islam. I think February is probably too soon of a comeback, to be honest with you, as well too. Ilia Topuria is a powerhouse. He has a lot of power, but I will say his performance against Josh Emmett, while it was an amazing dominant performance, he didn't finish Josh Emmett as where Yair Rodriguez did, very handedly so. Because of that, actually makes me lean towards Volk. Initially, I was saying Ilia Topuria would be the biggest nightmare for Volkanovski in the featherweight division, and I still believe that, but I don't think he's going to be able to take him out. His performance against Josh Emmett, I'm sorry, led me to believe that Volkanovski can beat him, but I will be honest with you, I'm probably going to root for Ilia Topuria. I love watching Ilia Topuria fights. I've always said it. He's kind of a douchebag, but God, he's a fun douchebag to watch. But Volkanovski's just too good. He's still really good. I'm not going to say he's fallen off or discredit him for losing to Islam Makhachev twice. Islam Makhachev is honestly the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. But yeah, give me Volkanovski. I think he'll win it by a decision, but I could absolutely see him getting knocked out by Ilia Topuria. We don't know exactly where his chin is at, to be honest with you, because Makhachev hurts. He hurt him badly. And the next fight, headlining in March, will be Sean O'Malley rematching Chito Vera. I like this fight. I love this fight. And I know a lot of people are pissed that Chito's gave the title shot when he got beat by Corey Sandhagen and when Merab's on the come up. I'm sorry. I'm fine with this, and I much prefer this. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm sorry. I believe in meritocracy. I really do. But there comes an extent where you can't have awful performances. I'm sorry, you can't. Like, don't get me wrong, Bilal Muhammad, that's someone I think should have gotten the title shot over Colby Covington, to be perfectly honest with you. Because Colby Covington hadn't fought in a year, had no wins over active fighters, whatever. Chito Vera at least has wins over active fighters. He simply does. He has wins over active fighters, so he makes sense. He's coming off a win, and it was a pretty dominant win. Merab, his last couple performances, he didn't go for finishes. He honestly did not try to finish his opponents, and they're very poor. He point fighted. Corey Sandhagen, his last fight, and honestly his fight against Chito Vera, were point fighting. You can't do that. Bilal Muhammad at least finished Sean Brady. So that's why I think Bilal Muhammad deserves a title shot. And I do think Merab and Sandhagen deserve it, but they're going to go with the guy with the more flashier performance who has beef with the champion. I'm sorry, but Corey Sandhagen and Merab, if they really, really wanted that title shot, they would have sealed the deal. They would have went out and finished their opponents. Had they done that, had Corey Sandhagen had fought Rob Font and finished him, guarantee you it'd be him in the spot. But you just don't have the fans backing you. It's as simple as that. Bilal Muhammad makes no sense. He should have the fans back him, but nah. Regardless, I think this is going to be a very fun, exciting matchup. I think it's a hard one. I personally think that Sean O'Malley did not get fraud checked in the first fight, and I do think that the injury leading up to it did lead to his perennial nerve giving out. I want to lean slightly towards Sean O'Malley just because he's been looking so good, but Chito Vera also is pretty tough. He's pretty powerful. He's pretty durable, but he's just so inactive, and that inactivity is really going to cost him, especially if it goes to a scorecard. I said that's a way that Corey Sandhagen would beat Chito Vera, and it's how he beat him. So, yep, I think this is going to be a solid fight, though, headlining the March card. But you know what that means, though? You know what that means? UFC 300 is all but confirmed. It's going to be headlined by Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. Stupid, awful, horrible. I don't give a damn. I cared about that fight last year. I thought it'd be a fun fight to put on a pay-per-view. Now, headlining a historic event like UFC 300. UFC 300 should have had 3 title fights, and they should have all been banger title fights. But this schedule basically removes any possibility of that, because the heavyweights are fighting this weekend, the light heavyweights are fighting this weekend, welterweights next month, then you have middleweights the month after, featherweights the month after, bantamweights the month after. You screwed yourself. You locked yourself into Conor versus Chandler. Maybe they could squeeze in Islam, which would be nice. I'd like to see a 155 title, maybe against Gaethje. Honestly, Gaethje versus Islam is a great headliner for 300. I like that much better than Charles versus Islam, but people are going to be upset with me saying this, but I'm sorry. I don't care. An unranked lightweight who hasn't had a win in lightweight since 2016 in the form of Conor McGregor, and Michael Chandler, who's coming off a loss to Dustin Poirier. Why is that headlining UFC 300? That's just stupid. Simple as that. Stupid. It's stupid. It's not exciting. If you're excited for it, you're just a Conor fanboy, and I don't think you even watch MMA, to be perfectly honest with you. But yes. Oh well. That's going to be the news. Overall, pretty exciting news. Please let me know what you think in the comments section below, and go ahead and roast me for not liking Sean Strickland or Conor McGregor. I'm waiting for it. But once again, this has been your boy, Gomi. Bye-bye.